Chapter 4 summary. The population regression line, beta sub 1 plus beta sub 1 big X, is the mean of big Y as a function of the value of big X. The slope of beta sub 1 is the expected difference in big Y between two observations with big X values that differ by 1 unit. The intercept beta sub naught determines the level or height of the regression line. Key concept 4.1 summarizes the terminology of the population linear regression model. Number 2 in the summary. The population regression line can be estimated using sample observations. Big Y, open parentheses, truncated by open, big Y sub I, and big X sub I, close. I equals 1 through n by ordinary least squares. The ordinary least squares estimators of the regression intercept and slope are denoted beta sub naught hat and beta sub 1 hat. The predicted value of big Y given big X is beta sub naught hat plus beta sub 1 hat X. Or should I read that beta hat sub naught plus beta hat sub naught big X? Number 3 in the summary. The big R squared and standard error of the regression, SER, are measures of how close the values of big Y sub I are to the estimated regression line. The big R squared is between 0 and 1, with a larger value indicating that the big Y sub I's are closer to the line. The standard error of the regression estimates the standard deviation of the regression error. Summary number 4. There are 3 key assumptions for estimating causal effects using a linear regression model. Number 1, the regression errors U sub I have a mean of 0 conditional on the regressor's big X sub I. Number 2, the sample observations are independently and identically distributed random draws from the population. And 3, large outliers are unlikely. If these assumptions hold, the ordinary least squares estimator, beta hat sub 1, is 3 things. Number 1, an unbiased estimator of the causal effect, beta sub 1. Number 2, it is consistent. And number 3, normally distributed when the sample is large. Key terms: causal inference, prediction, linear regression model with a single regressor, dependent variable, and independent variable, regressor, population regression line, population regression function, intercept, slope, coefficients, parameters, error term, ordinary least squares estimators, ordinary least squares regression line, sample regression function, predicted value, residual, regression, big R squared, explained sum of squares, ESS, total sum of squares, TSS, sum of squared residuals, SSR, standard error of the regression, SER, in sample prediction, out of sample prediction, least squares assumptions.